We have been speaking recently of the dynamic of the need for humanity to have an upgrade, to have a, what shall we say, a rebirth almost. Because the system that you have been involved in, the dynamic of the system that you have allowed more than created, has taken you to a place of difficulty, a place of dead ends, a place of a dynamic of putting band-aids on a problem rather than dealing with the root cause of the problem, because the short-term solution has been more profitable. And so you have gone with the dynamics of the short term without ever really stopping to look at what the implications, what the ramifications of those short-term choices have been. Now, it is only a normal dynamic that in a situation like that, where you are not thinking, where you are just allowing others, be it God, goddess, all that is, be it a psychic, be it a parent, be it a spouse, be it a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or anyone else that you give your power over to. And so many of you have been not taking responsibility for the dynamics of, for the situations of your own reality, that even now, so many of you, if you look back at the situation, you wind up looking for somebody to blame, rather than looking at how you might be able to take the responsibility for what occurred so that you might prevent that from happening in the future. Now, there's a novel thought, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, blaming is so much easier.
Well, but it is a dynamic that you use in order to avoid taking responsibility. Because, you know, you take the awful things. Who would say, oh, I created a reality for myself where I was abused? All right? Why would you do that? Except if you wish to learn about the dynamics of the opposite thing. So if you have been abused, then you are in a situation where you have lost love. And so in that sort of situation, your reaction would be to believe that it's not safe to love. And so you would spend, now from a spiritual point of view, so then you would spend almost a whole lifetime trying to learn what it meant to really be loved, but to be in a dynamic of real love, because you're not going to accept a dynamic of love that you're going to wind up being abandoned again or betrayed again. You're not going to wish to accept that, although strangely enough, it is the type of relationships that you are drawn to in these circumstances, because each time that you are faced with the possible reenactment of that abandonment, reenactment of that betrayal, it gives you another opportunity to move beyond the dynamics of your old realities of belief and move into a new reality of possibilities. So we talk about this microcosmic dynamic because that is what is happening on a macro level as well. So you have a question?
No, I was just going to state it's a matter of having the awareness, because one can be in a whole lot of reactions, and to keep a piece of self that's aware enough to say, this is an old pattern, this is an opportunity for me to change it.
What's the difference between a reaction and a response? Well, a reaction is to act in a way that you have before, usually set by that past trauma that we had talked about. You know, you hold an underlying, because of the trauma, you hold an underlying belief that it's not safe to love. All right? As long as you hold that belief, your reality is going to keep giving you opportunities to prove that to you. because belief creates
Creates
behavior that reinforces belief, and on and on and on until you reach that level of discomfort necessary in order to say, hey, I do not wish to do this any longer. Now, that is a natural human dynamic that has occurred basically because of the way you have been brought up, the ways that you have all been taught, the dynamics of reality that have shaped you into the person that you are now, because it has mostly been the dynamics of family, of early upbringing, that has created the foundation of beliefs that you all operate under. What you don't realize is that those are easily changed once you decide that the old ways, or some of the old ways, no longer serve you. Now, they might have served you when you were much younger, but as you grow older,
right.
Not that Adrienne just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Adrienne.
Thank you.
All right, are you blushing?
No.
Do you wish to?
No.
All right. So as you get older, you understand these things. If you are 25 years old at this point, we do not expect you to completely understand it. But if you're anything above 35 or 40, we do expect you to understand that there is a whole dynamic of movement and change, and you evolve, you transform, you grow into a whole different, a whole WHOLE personality, the more experiences you allow yourselves to have. So this dynamic is driven, this dynamic of growth is driven through an inner urging, an inner motivation, an inner dynamic of soul that is constantly urging you to try new things, to be more, to take more steps, to take that risk again to try to find love, to take that risk again one more time to try to do something that you have failed at in the past. Perseverance, sustaining energy, success in the face of failure. That a dynamic of failure, a dynamic of not achieving all that you had wished might motivate you to become more, to redouble your efforts. Or are you going to give up? Are you going to cave in?